Welcome Shaman enjoyers, let's go straight to the business. So from start, let's talk about stats. Most priority for you is critical with versatility. Critical is absolutely top stat you want to pump. A lot critical. Second, a little behind is versatility. So like idle is something like 15,000 critical and 10,000 versatility. Then is a big gap, and then we have haste and mastery. Mastery is good on paper, in reality not so great. So we are just taking 0. Some base mastery is definitely enough, and you don't need to waste some study into it. I have too much because I'm just gearing myself, so of course I don't have tip-top gear yet. So ideally mastery 0, but it's not possible because at least one set piece will have mastery, like this helmet or legs. So you can only have 0, ideally 0. And haste, you want to have few thousand, like 5,000, just enough. In rate, just go for 0 haste if you can achieve that. Probably not because set pieces, but still, in rate is not so important, but in dungeons it's harder to run out of mana, and it's a little bit more like faster. You need to do that healing faster. Somebody get ability, you need to heal him before he dies because you don't have that much time. But you don't know who to heal, so you cannot precast that heal. So that's why we need a little bit haste, so we are not feeling like we are the slowest guy on the planet. So like this 10% just enough to be a little bit faster. Everything is a little bit faster. We need that a little to have those faster reactions in dungeons. So yeah, a little bit haste. So once again, a lot of critical, then behind it versatility, still a lot of, but a little bit less. Then big gap, some haste, and ideally 0 mastery. Alright, let's talk about talents. So I chose something in the middle that is like good into most situations, but there is so many things you can tweak over here. It would take way too long to just list every combinations and every reasons for every talent. So it's up to you. Just a little bit experiment. Some of them are based, some of them are a little bit detailed. In Discord I have nice marks, which one it's quite optional which to choose or not choose. So just check it there. If you want to play a little bit with it, I will just mention some notable choices. So over here in the left tree, if you don't need dispels, you don't need dispels. If you don't need cools, if you don't need poison, you can use these talents somewhere else. You can use it for defense, you can use it more for the movement speed, you can cancel movement speed, you can use it more for healing, and you can use it more for self-defense. Froggy sometimes useful, mana sometimes useful, so yeah, you can really play with the left tree. This is not so important, this is just some little utilities. So definitely go for it. From right tree, there is a little bit few choices. So like talents over here, you don't need these Riptide ones, or just take like extra Riptide and not proccing, and you can put it to Sprouting Spirits, you can put it more to Healing Tide Totem, so now your cooldowns are better, but your like sustain healing is a little bit worse. This is absolutely how you like it. And Tidebringer, if you have a responsible group that is standing together, it's waste of talent, but usually people are not standing nicely stuck on the melee together, so this is definitely helping to increase that chain heal jump distance. And from the middle, there is also discutable. You can choose which one you like over here a little bit more. This one is increasing effective of your healing by 10%, and usually proccing this with air living, and you have a lot of air living because you are casting many of those chains, and you have also 100% from willing elements. So yeah, it's a great choice. It's fine, both of them are fine, it's just your preference. And another, I would also choose this, but as a responsible healer, I crafted stuff as the first item because I saved 90 crests for casting one event, and so I cannot use it, so of course I'm not using it, but this is also a viable choice. Usually much better if you have many ranged DPS because they won't be standing in your Surging Totem, that's your healing range. So yeah, go for it. Many combinations you can play with over here. Alright, if you want exactly this talents, import link will be in the description, and if you want a little bit closer up, like what is good choices to play with, then just check my Discord and you will see nice marks. Which talents are more optional, are more about your taste or just situations. Alright, let's move on. Gameplay priority rotation, whatever you want to call it. So from start, like 2 notes. One is when you enter combat, apply Flame Shock. You just enter combat, you don't need to heal because you just started, so apply Flame Shock. a little bit about it later. Second thing, keep your buffs up. So we have Sky Fury for 2% mastery, keep it on everyone, of course. We have Water Shield, you keep it on yourself, and we are using Air Living and Weapon Enchant on buff. Well, enchant. It's like instead of rune, you cannot have Air Living or that oils we have now, not the runes. But you cannot use that if you use this one. So yeah, you will save some money, yay! And another thing, if you're playing this talent, this is buff for your shield. So also apply it to yourself. Another thing, before we start any heals or we want to maintain, so not even topmost priority, but even before that, because we need to prepare this out of combat or when there's nothing to heal. So we don't waste our time, well, it's something to heal. And it's our air shields. One always on yourself, because you can use only one air shield on some friendly player. So you can have two, but one can be only on yourself, so always keep that. Second one, keep on tank. Some occasions, if some DPS is just like low gear, bad player, always getting damage, always dying more than others, just put it on him, but it's usually tank. Alright, we have everything prepared, so let's move to actual healing. So first topmost priority, Totemic. Guess what will be topmost priority? It will be our totem. So we have new Surging Totem. It's replacing our Healing Rain, and what is it doing this totem? It's basically applying Healing Rain around him. So yeah, it's Healing Rain with extra steps. What is nice on this, it's totem now, that we have Totemic projection. It's down over here. And that means we can, for free, we can move our Healing Rain. Otherwise, to make people stand 24 seconds on the same place, yeah, it's not nice. So this is just 10-second cooldown costing no mana. So very nice, we can move this Healing Rain with us. You want to keep this under melees and of course under enemies, because through Acid Rain we are doing damage to enemies. So we are healing melee with them, we are doing damage to enemies, and it's still better on melee because the ranged DPS can come close and stack on melee and still do damage, and melee cannot go on range and still do damage. That means, yeah, melee is winning, you're placing on melee. If some ranger is not standing in it because he's ranged, it's his fault, it's not your fault. So yeah, always on melee and keep it up 100% time. It got 24 seconds duration and 24 seconds cooldown, so after it disappears, just cast the new one. Okay, but Healing Rain is not only thing about this totem, it's more. So you can see nice shiny bows flying around it. And we have 3 buffs. It's Whirling Elements, it's down over here. So we have Water, Air and Earth. Air is just increased cast time, it will be used, otherwise we don't care. But the Water and Earth are quite high potential. So Earth 1 is your next chain heal, applies Air Living at 150% effectiveness to all targets hit. So it's proccing this heal over here and it's 50% better. But everybody get it, that means 5 targets will get it. That's really nice. And this Air buff, I have now Vigora for it, so the brown one is Air 1. It also consumed when chain heal is spawned with some totem placement. So don't need to be your casted chain heal, it can be just from totem. Then we have Whirling Water, and that one is duplicating your heal from Healing Surge and Healing Wave. Well, it's not duplicating, it's applying new spell. What it means, because it's not duplicating, is when you have increased healing from Healing Surge, for example from Master of Elements, that will increasing that heal by 60%. If this is duplicated, well, on another target, it's just healing normal Healing Surge. So this is like cast another spell on the target, it's not duplicating your heal. So if you have pumped with something like Master of Elements that is healing more your Healing Surge, it doesn't matter, it will cast normal Healing Surge on the second target. So a little bit bummer, but that's how it is. And yeah, it's great even for AoE because it's basically doubling your heal for free, costing no mana, nothing extra time. So if you have it, we can easily use it for AoE too, but yeah, usually, idly on 2 targets, when just 2 targets got hurt. And it should be healing another target that is standing inside of Healing Rain. The thing with this is quite bugged buff. There's many problems, so I didn't dig so deep into it. But I found out that second target can be outside of rain. It's just how it works. It's Blizzard. Nothing we can do. And for example, like Necrotic Wake, I think this is the better map. Necrotic Wake, after you kill second boss, so you are flying up. Necropolis, or however you call that flying thing. It doesn't work. It won't be consumed, it won't be used ever. It's how it works, so just letting you know. So be careful with ability, it's not reliable, but yeah, it's great. So yeah, we want to use those buffs before Totem disappears, because it's for 24 seconds. Totem is duration 24 seconds, and after Totem disappears, we will apply a new one and we'll get these buffs again. So ideally use everything in 24 seconds. Of course, when it's nothing to heal, don't waste your mana, because you have a buff up. Don't care, forget about it, move on. Alright, one last thing about this totem. After we place it, in the next 12 seconds we can activate the dumper. It's replace our button for this totem, and what it does, it will heal 5 targets standing inside your healing rain. This time it's actually inside of healing rain. Well, or surging totem. It's healing rain. That is applied by surging totem, so we are inside of healing rain. And it's just nice heal. Nice instant heal for AoE. So really worth it. At least 3 targets. When it's just 2 targets, it's not worth it for your mana. But still whatever. And it's also increase health of everybody hit by it by 10% for 6 seconds. So if you can time it before some big AoE damage explosion, yeah, you want to do that. Moving on from our big boy, always uptime, always replace it, always move it, don't forget about it. So second priority, we have healing stream totem. That's what makes our healing chill. Do I have some logs? Oh, I tested too much on dummies, how it works, how everything works. It's just 7, but still whatever. Oh, it's even first. So yeah, healing stream totem, it's massive amount of heals, because now it's healing 50% more, but it's healing second target, so it cannot heal 50% more initial target. So that's a massive increase. It's triple mana, it's spawning chain heal, can you call it. And when you are moving your healing rain, that everything is moving, then you are moving this totem too. So even if you are running behind corners, big distances, you are taking this totem with you. So yeah, always good to use. You need some sustain, it's good because it's healing quite slowly. But you need burst, still good to use, because what? If you click it, you'll spawn chain heal. These chain heals that are spawning from our totems are 100% effectiveness. So it's not like some baby chain heal, it's proper good one, strong chain heal. It will also change proc that buff we have from weapon air living. So yeah, it's strong here, so good for burst, good for sustain. That's my second priority, because it's amazing. A little note about these chain heals that are coming from these totems. So it's coming from healing stream totem, it's coming from healing tide totem, it's coming from your link totem, and it's coming from your mana totem, but we don't play mana totem. Or cloudburst, but we are playing healing stream, so we don't have cloudburst. So this chain heal, if you have a high tide, is massively increasing your healing, because every jump of chain heal is decreasing its healing by 30%. So on last jump it's almost nothing. High tide is preventing that, and is even increasing overall heal of the chain heal by 10%. So massive upgrade to its healing. So if you have a high tide buff, buff will be consumed by the chain heal from your totem, and its healing will be increased by it. Another buff that is getting used, we already talked about it, is Whirling Earth. Is those air living on everyone. See, nice air living I have there. Also consuming this buff and using it. Then you have Tidebringer, that is increasing that jump distance for chain heals. It's not consuming this buff. But if you have it, the jump distance of these chain heals from your totems are increased. It's not consumed, but it's increased. Sometimes it's increased too when you have this talent and you don't have it ready. Don't ask me, it's another Blizzard thing, it's just a little bit bugged, but most time, if you have this buff ready, that chain heal will be jumping further. So if people are spread, make sure you have buff up, don't worry, it won't be consumed. Alright, moving on next priority, Riptide. A bit cheap, single target heal. It does have also some healing over time effect by long one, but it's not very strong one. but it got other uses. So what the Riptide is doing apart from its initial heal and healing hot. After you use it, you got 2 stacks of tidal waves over here, and it's talent hiding on top right spell. So it's buffing our next cast of Chain Heal, Healing Wave, Healing Surge. For Healing Wave and Chain Heal is increased cast time, so it's 36% faster. And for Healing Surge is increasing additional critical chance by 54%. I mean additional. That means your critical chance plus this percentage. So if you check my logs from here and you check critical strike from Healing Surges, 81.5%. That's how many times I did critical. So from 92 hits of this ability, only 17 times it was not critical. It's a huge critical chance. So when we are using Healing Surge, definitely we want to have this buff up. And when we are hard casting Chain Heal, yes, still, it's not so important because we have 50% cast time from Tidebringer if you play the talent. If not, it's definitely important to have this buff up to increase your cast time of the Chain Heal. So yeah, we are using it for that purpose too. Another thing with Riptide is that its healing over time effect is increasing your heals from your base abilities, its deluge. So from Healing Surge, Healing Wave and Chain Heal. Same thing is doing your Healing Rain. So if everybody is on melee, it doesn't matter. But if they are not, yes, we are applying this Riptide over time effect just to have this 50% bonus to increase. So usually if you know some ranger is always standing on range and never standing in your totem, in your healing rain, prioritize those targets to apply that healing over time effect to increase your healing on them by 15%. It's a huge difference. Another thing, same as Healing Surge, it got chance to heal additional target for 50% amount healed. Another nice bonus. And if you play this talent, 7% chance on cast of Riptide, you will get Ascendance for 6 seconds. That will explode immediately, so it's immediately quite nice use. It's showing now 620,000. That's for free, and then it's just duplicating your heal. If you really need to heal right now, then we are just caring about to have enough stacks. If you just need to heal a little, then we are just applying those Riptides because there are usually enough. Like your Healing Stream Totem and your Riptide will take care of most little damage. Of course, you have also Healing Rain non-stop on the floor. That was my big error, that I have High Tide now. And if I use Totem, see, I didn't cast it, but it's consuming that buff and increasing that chain heals from those totems. Alright, moving on from Riptide. So next priority, we have Healing Surge or Chain Heal. Difference is what buffs we have and how many targets we need to heal. So let's start just the basic and then I'll go difference when it's something better on how many targets. So 1 or 2 targets we are casting Healing Surge, strong single target heal, massive critical chance. Heal can be duplicated by 50% on another target. 60% chance when you do critical. You will mostly do critical with this ability, so it's usually huge chance to proc it. So Ancestral Awakening, let's see where it is. It's a huge chunk of your healing, 44 millions, even bigger heal. And of course, huge critical chance is also great because our critical heals are healing a little bit more than just default critical. And we have massive improvement of these heals when we have Whirling Earth and we have buffs from Master of Elements that is massively increasing healing of Healing Surge and making it more potent. So we prefer to spend those buffs on Healing Surge because it's really great. Alright, let's go fast about Chain, then compare what is best situation when 3 to 5 targets for base. More about it later. So it's Chain Heal, of course, and I don't mean Chain Heal from your totems because this will be happening anyway, because even on single target you still want to use totem because they are cheap, they are effective. Jewel mana, quite short cooldown, you keep using them, they will keep spawning their own Chain Heals. I mean now you will actually start casting Chain Heal. And this Chain Heal can be improved also many ways. So we have High Tide, classic, we talk about it. It's down over here. Then we have Whirling Earth buff, classic, we talk about it. Timebringer, classic, we talk about it. Faster cast time and jump distance increased. And then we have Totemic Rebound is in hero talents. So Chain Heal after it finish its jumps, then it will jump on nearby totem, and that nearby totem will cast another chain heal. It's just a little one because it's healing about 50% less, and it's jumping only twice, so healing 3 targets instead of 5. So much weaker than our chain, but it's still another healing. Is about 300 plus per one cast. So 300 plus 1000 healing for nothing. Yeah, we will take it. So also you can see it when I play his totem. I cast chain heal. See, it's jumping there. It's not jumping from it because it's healing injured target, and I'm not injured target, so it's not proccing right now. So if you check it here, like this default chain heal, this is counting also chains when you place totem down. And this chain heals is not like you place down surging totem and it spawn chain heal. This is the chain heal finished, then jump to surging totem, and that mini chain heal was spawned, and this is it. Alright, so you can see it's not a big part of your healing, but it's something extra for free. People take it. So another thing that is increasing effectiveness of your chain heal. What is exactly cut off? So it's not exactly 1-2 targets. Healing surge and 3 and more is chain heal. Because we have those buffs for Master of Elements, that is increasing this 30% per stack up to 2 stacks, 60% max. And is also making another cast of same ability when you have Whirling Water. So for example, if you have Whirling Water up and you have Master of Elements 2 stacks, and you have no buff for chain heal, you don't have High Tide, you don't have Air Living, even when you need to heal 5 targets, you will cast Healing Surge first, and then you go for chain. Because you have 60% increase for your first Healing Surge, and then second Healing Surge will be also casted. And Healing Surge is usually the critical and usually is massive heal, so yes, even 4-5 targets need to be healed. We have this buff together, sure, we are going for it. If you have just one of them, let's say we have 3 targets that need to be healed, yeah, just go for it. Doesn't matter, it's more than 2, even 4. You'll see what I'm saying. So you need to be also choosing with chain or healing surge what buffs you have ready. Then you have no buffs, and you have High Tide, and you have Whirling Out. You can use chain heal to heal even 2 targets. It's not worth it, it's better to keep it for later. But you can do it because on paper it's better. So yeah, usually work with what you have, what buffs you have up. So let's say you have every single buff up, and there is need to heal AoE, then you cast 2 chains to consume Whirling Earth, to consume 2 stacks of High Tides, and then you cast 1 Healing Surge to consume that Whirling Water, and to consume that Master of Elements buffs, and then you go back to the chains. But usually after you do this, somebody is full, somebody, and blah blah blah, so probably, you know, you need to be reactive, because every situation is different for healers. That's why I love healers. It's still unique, it's not something you will learn, and oh, this is happening, okay, I'm doing this, oh, this is happening, I'm doing this. There is so little things, well, it's still the same, but there is so many choices you can do. So yeah, you just need to decide what is best exactly in that situation. It could be long list where is worth it more for what target. So don't take it as 1 to 2 targets healing surge and 3 to 5 chain heal. It depends on situations and which one will be overheal and blah 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 blah. Yeah, so just think about this too. We are in the dungeons. I think there was just 7. Yeah, I use more healing surges. Sometimes I have chain heal first. Like in dungeon like City of Threats, there is more AoE, so chain heal is first. It just depends on group and depends on situations. Whew. Alright. Let's move on for last priority. That is actually still healing, and is Flame Shock and Lava Burst. And from one really simple reason, Master of Elements. That is massively increasing heal of our next healing surge. So when you start combat, you apply your Flame Shocks. Then you're chilling with the Flame Shock, that will have chance to proc your next Lava Surge to be instant. If you have time, of course, cast Lava Burst. But usually if you are in need of healing, then you're waiting for that instant proc. They will use instant Lava Burst. that installables give us 1 stack of Master of Elements. That's 1 stack up to 2 stacks is increasing our next healing surge by 30%. And next healing surge will apply Flame Shock to a nearby enemy. If you have 2 stacks, it's applying 2 Flame Shocks. But I don't know if it's bug, it's applying, or it's bug, it's not applying always, it's buggy. So don't count on it. If you have 2 stacks, there will be 2 Flame Shocks. But still at least 1. And that means you don't need to refresh that from Flame Shock. It will be applied from that improve heal, and that applied Flame Shock will proc your instant lavables, and that instant lavables will give you Master of Elements, and that Master of Elements when you consume will give you another Flame Shock, and this is a nice circle. So it's not damage still, it's still your healing mechanics, because this Master of Elements is massive increase to your healings. So yeah, we are using Flame Shock lavables even as part of your healing rotation. Of course, if you need to heal non-stop right now, don't do that, but this is something when you have at least tiny fraction of free time that you can afford to do this, because it makes you more effective in the future, so you're saving your mana and your time in the future. You need to heal right now a lot. It's too late for this priority, but usually we'll always squeeze it somewhere. And a little note about end of rotation or priorities that we never use Healing Wave. This bloody ability up here. Sadly we need to take this down because otherwise we couldn't take Spiraling Totem, but we never use it because in all cases that's Healing Surge is better here than Healing Wave. It's faster, it's more mana effective, it's healing more, it's just much better. Also we are counting we have Tidal Waves buff up that's increasing its critical by massive amount. So yeah, forget about this spell even exists. It's worth it when you're using Primordial Wave, but we don't use that in this build. So forget that spell exists, put it away from your bars, put it with garbage. You're not even using it in raid. You just don't use this, it's not worth it, because Healing Surge got so many buffs, it's just not worth it. Alright, let's jump on cooldowns. So we have Ancestral Guidance, it got nerfed from previous DLC, now it's not sharing 25% of our healing to 3 targets, but it's just 10%. It's still increasing our healing by 30% if you're doing AoEs, but it's not 75, so it's a massive nerf for actual healing. So now it's more about to heal when you are doing damage and get some little heal without stopping damage. That's what you want to do with it. If you need big burst of heals right now, you can combine it with Ascendance. So let's go on Ascendance. That's our primary, biggest, best heal for our healing increase. Of course, it's not increasing so much single target, but still. So what is Ascendance doing? Big explosion. When you use it, this is split amongst everyone nearby. It's 620 right now with this gear. So it's quite big heal for free. Yay! And then it's duplicating 70% of your healing, or rather 70% of your healing is shared as AoE. So it's like Cloudburst Totem is split amongst everyone. It's even healing full targets, so it's always split amongst everyone, but still 70% increase. Yay! So yeah, huge healing cooldown. And again, if you want a big burst, you will use it with Ancestral Guidance. They are like buffing each other, so healing from Ancestral is duplicating with the Ascendance, and Ascendance heal is then duplicating with Ancestral. So they are working nice with each other. It's usually overkill, but they have some cool ones now, and Ancestral Guidance is not so important anymore. So yeah, just go for it. Before you just use one of them and it was enough. Now Ancestral Guidance a little bit lower, but still is increasing our healing, so depending on what situations. Alright, Healing Tide Totem, after many buffs from the previous DLC, now it's actually useful in the dungeon, so it's nice AoE. Sustain heal, not really burst, but it's also spawning chain heal, so with Totemic it's much better thanks to that extra chain heal too. Yep, nice AoE heal. Nothing more to say about it. Spiraling Totem. So, it's even healing. You have talent over here, Floating Spirits. That's decent heal for everyone who is standing in it after 1 second. But Spiraling Totem is sharing everyone's health, so everybody is on the same percentage. So it's great when it's big burst damage to prevent somebody who don't have defensive ready from dying, Or if somebody is really low and would die next second, this is the best thing you can do. Bam, there is spirit link, health is shared, and that guy can survive. So to stem somebody alive, or some big AoE damage, or even big single target damage, you will just prevent from that single target from dying, and others will just share a little bit of their health. And of course it's improving your healing, because every healer is healing more on AoE than on single target. So more targets you have to heal, the more you are healing, because that's how it works. So yeah, save somebody alive or prevent somebody from dying on some big damage situations. So next cooldown we have Totemic Recall. It's the reset cooldown of our some shorter totem. So not working for some totem like Healing Tide, or it's not working for our Stone Bulwark. It can reset speed totems, utility totems, poison totems if you need it a little bit more. But usually most times we are using it to reset cooldown of Healing Stream totem, and it's resetting just one charge, so not both of them. So but we need to heal a little bit more. Bam, click it. Then we have Nature Swiftness, that making our next nature ability to be instant and costing no mana. So we are using it often to save some mana for mana sustain, also saving some time. So when somebody is low and need to be healed right now, or you need to move, great. Or when you're just using your abilities to save some mana. So either on Healing Surge or Chain Heal, you want to spend this buff. And on the end, a little about the damage. We talked about most things already. So single target, you have totem always, so you always use it on single target too. You are keeping Flame Shock up, then you are casting Lava Burst if you have, and if you don't have Lava Burst, you are using Lightning Bolt. That's it. On AoE, we also use Totem, our top priority, because we always want to have this one ready. Then we are using Flame Shock. Use it only on 2 targets, don't go more than 2 targets, because you will get some Flame Shocks from then spending for these insta Lava Bursts for Master of Elements, bam, and then you apply new Flame Shocks. So don't manually use more than twice on 2 targets. If you're on 2 targets, it's okay. And then you are using Lava Burst once again, and instead of Lightning Bolt after that, you are using Chain Lightning. That's only difference on AoE. You are applying one more Flame Shock and Chain Lightning instead of Lightning Bolt. Lava Burst is higher priority than Chain Lightning because it's increasing your healing and then it's helping with the spread of your next Flame Shocks. If you don't need to heal at all, just skip Lava Burst on AoE if you have 3+ targets and go straight for Chain Lightning. If you have just 2 targets, both of them Flame Shock and cast Lava Burst first and then Chain Lightning. Chain Lightning is better on 2 targets if you do critical, but mostly you won't do critical, and Lava Burst is 100% critical, so Lava Burst is better on 2 targets. On 3 targets, it's just Chain Lightning, but we are using still Lava Burst because increase our healing. Alright, that will be everything from me. In case you have any questions, don't hesitate. Ask me in the comments. I'm answering usually under the 24 hours. So you will get it as soon as possible. If you want exactly the same guide, just in text, if you prefer that format, check my Discord. Exactly the same guide is there in the text. Actually, when I'm recording these guides, I'm just following what is in the text. I'm doing text first, so it's exactly the same things, exactly the same points, exactly the same ideas you can find over there. Link is in the description. And thank you for watching. Think about liking and subscribing, it's helping me a lot. And goodbye.